Across the globe, promises of amazing views from the summit and spectacular trails attract hundreds of thousands of tourists. These range from numerous mountain ranges to climb and hike to their heart's content. People of every age and experience take to the trails, and no matter their experience, some never return. It's these mountainous regions that are also home to mysterious discoveries. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 mountain mysteries. A mysterious 60-foot hole appeared on the side of Mount Shasta. Over 10 years ago, a random hole appeared on the side of Mount Shasta, seemingly overnight. It was built using a simple makeshift pulley system and reached about 60 feet deep. It was as if someone tried to dig into the volcano, which surprised the locals and Forest Service. The offenders had only left behind a few buckets, a smart water bottle, and a ladder to signify their presence. For the past decade, locals and mystery enthusiasts have been trying to figure out the reason and cause for this strange hole. There are currently 3 main theories to explain it. The first theory is related to the legend of Lemuria. Some town inhabitants believe that there is a lost continent underneath Mount Shasta called Lemuria, with its capital city, Telos. It is named after the word lemur, because an English zoologist in the 19th century theorized that the lemurs traveled to Madagascar from India using this lost continent. For some reason, it ended up buried underneath a mountain range in California. Some people have even reported seeing robed Lemurian citizens traveling through the mountains and visiting the town's shops. The diggers might have been attempting to reach the lost city through the hole. The mountain is also considered sacred to the First Nation tribe, Winnemem Wintu, indigenous to the area surrounding the McCloud River in Northern California. The people have a spiritual connection to the mountain and regard themselves as its watchers, because their tribe came out of the mountain thousands of years ago. The second theory regarding the hole is that the culprits were digging for Native American artifacts. This area has been rife with looting for many years, as artifacts can sell for a very high price. It is illegal to dig without a permit, resulting in fines of up to $20,000 and potential jailing for up to 1 year. Police explained that looters typically work at night and dig using the same pulley method seen with the hole. However, the Forest Service and Winnemem Wintu tribe do not believe it was looters. It is improbable any artifacts are in the area, since leaving items would disrespect the spirits and mountain. The Forest Service argued for the third theory: someone was mining for gold. There was a bit of gold found in the town's relative area during the gold rush era, so the offenders might have tried to find some. However, the location of the hole is unlikely to provide any gold because of its volcanic geology. Regardless of which theory you believe, the case is still unsolved. No one figured out who dug the hole, and the rangers were quick to fill it to prevent any accidents. Whether it was to find a lost continent, Native American artifacts, or gold, it seems that it will always remain a mystery. The disappearance of Sharon Buis. On May 23, 2014, Sharon Gay Buis disappeared from the Mount Roberts Trail in Alaska. She was last seen at 9:30 a.m. that morning at the Alaska Marine Line store in downtown Juneau. The 48-year-old was hiking solo and had not notified any friends or family about her plans. She was supposed to meet with a friend the next day at 8:45 a.m. to go hiking together, but failed to show. After some time, she was reported missing, but troopers have not found any clues of her whereabouts to this day. Sharon Buis was a physical therapist working for Juneau Physical Therapy and had lived in Juneau for a decade by the time of her disappearance. She also ran a side business where she sold orthopedic office chairs. She was shipping out 2 chairs at Alaska Marine Lines the day that she went missing. Buis was an experienced hiker and had recently returned from Greenland, where she went ice camping. She had even biked from Alaska to Canada at one point and enjoyed running, kayaking, and playing hockey. Buis was always active, so her longtime hiking partner was very confused when she did not show up that morning. Buis owned an emergency GPS, but left it at home that day along with her overnight backpack. Police assumed her cell phone was with her, but it was most likely turned off as the phone company could not ping its location. Ann Johnson called the police and filed a missing person report after Buice failed to show up for their Hawthorne Peaks hike. Feeling uneasy about the situation, Johnson drove around that evening to various trailheads looking for Buice's car. She eventually found it parked at Mount Roberts Trailhead at 9:30 p.m. on May 24, 2014. The search began at 1 a.m. on May 25th and covered the entire Mount Jeannot trail system and backcountry over 4 days. The US Coast Guard, Alaska State Troopers, Southeast Alaska Dogs, and the Alpine Club all joined the search and rescue alongside her family and friends. The Coast Guard even brought in a helicopter to use FLIR thermal imaging and night vision to find her, but were unsuccessful. The search team utilized aerial support wherever the ground was too dangerous for searchers to explore, such as ravines or ridgelines. A search dog picked up her scent near the Mount Roberts Trailhead parking lot after a few days. But that was it. The search lasted only 4 days before the state troopers called it off, much to the dismay of Buice's loved ones. The searchers had covered so much ground and double-checked everywhere that they were confident she was not there. Over the next few months, occasional leads would turn up and give them hope, such as a hiker who reported a bear and a decaying odor, but nothing ever panned out. Some groups conducted additional search attempts around the trail and the abandoned mine shafts nearby, but never found any evidence suggesting Buice's presence. They have combed through that trailhead so often that it is surprising they have not been able to find anything. The police and troopers explained that Buice might have gotten lost or injured in an area inaccessible to ground searchers. Another theory is that she was attacked by an animal, although they found no evidence of that. Another idea was that she was a victim of foul play. Her car was at the trailhead, but did she even make it up onto the trail? The police never managed to find information about Sharon Buice's disappearance, so it remains an open case 7 years later. Sylvia Apps' baffling disappearance. On July 8, 2014, Sylvia Apps departed on a 5-day solo hike of Vancouver's Island Strathcona Park in British Columbia, Canada. The 69-year-old left at 11 a.m. and began her trek in Paradise Meadows near Mount Washington. Her family and friends expected her to return around 4 p.m. on July 13th, but unfortunately, she went missing. Searchers managed to find her belongings, but no trace of Sylvia Apps. Her family never heard from her again. The Strathcona Provincial Park is the oldest in British Columbia and the most significant on Vancouver Island. Its wilderness covers over 600,000 acres and has the tallest mountains on the island. The park is rugged and filled with waterfalls, glaciers, lakes, and forests, making it an ideal habitat for unique native wildlife. Apps was an experienced hiker and fully equipped for her trek with navigation and emergency equipment. The last sighting of her was on July 11th, just south of Castle Crag Mountain. Her case baffled search teams because they had never dealt with the rescue operation where they discovered only the belongings. When Sylvia Apps did not return on the expected date, her family quickly reported her as missing. Various search and rescue teams and organizations volunteered to help, totaling about 170 searchers. The ground teams focused on areas in the park that Apps would most likely have traveled through and utilized helicopters for additional aerial support. The Comox Valley Ground Search and Rescue, or CVGSAR, confirmed that Apps signed into the register for Castle Crag Mountain Summit on July 10th. Later that month, they discovered her backpack in a different location, containing all her belongings except trekking poles and a camera. The CVGSAR scaled the search back after a week, explaining that Apps would unlikely be able to travel far without supplies in the heat and rugged terrain. They believed that expanding the search coverage was a waste of time. Apps' hiking route is popular, so if there were clues, it would not take long for someone to discover it and resume the search. Her family did not stop searching, though. The search and rescue team suspect that Apps suffered from an injury or medical emergency and could not get help. She was hiking during summer with extreme heat, so it is possible that she suffered from heat stroke and was unable to think rationally and wandered off instead of waiting for rescue. It is now 7 years later, and Sylvia Apps is still missing. But what do you make of these 3 mysteries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.